Alright, so the other day at time of recording this, I took an impromptu drive down to Morgantown to a store that our buddy Drew told me to go to called Ashebrooke Liquor Outlet in Morgantown, West Virginia. Obviously, like, it was a bigger store, obviously a college kid's store still, because it's WVU. But they had some gems. They had some decent picks. They had a 2019 Knob Creek pick still sitting around the ride. Mm-hmm. But they had a maker's pick. And I was going to come back with something because also at the time of this, I'm getting a promotion. So I wanted to treat myself, get a bottle.
Celebration.
So I was like, going to buy something here. And I'm like, you know what? No, let's go to West Virginia. Let's see what's up. And it paid off with the Maker's Mark pick. Yep. So now this makes the list, I think, 8 or 9 states now that I have picks from. So let's see how this one compares. This one is a slightly older one still. This one is from the Mocha era. Mm-hmm. So it is 2 pure, 0 cuvee, 246, 3 mocha, 3 spice. So let's get into it. I should also add right off the bat, this is a pretty amber one as well.
Yeah, this is pretty dark.
For especially for a maker's pick, some of them don't typically get this dark, even though this is slightly lower proof. Yeah. I wonder, it's got to be one of the staves has to add to it.
It probably is.
I would have to look and kind of see which one it seems to trend toward.
I'd say it's probably the mocha. I think the mocha's the darkest one. All right, come on, that's not a goal.
Yeah, that's got to be goaltender interference.
There's no way that's not.
Everyone's piled on the goaltender.
You can definitely challenge that. That's straight up goal.
I still, if it's close, I wouldn't risk the penalty. I'd risk them potentially getting another goal. But we'll see. Anyway. Also, boy, it was fucking tall. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's not able to get back into the goal.
The ref jumping up over the goal.
Like, the fact that the goalie is not able to get back into the crease makes me want to say that's goalie interference.
Yeah.
The fact that he is not physically able to get back into the crease is the issue.
Right. Anyway, let's get to the whiskey.
So nose.
Cherry.
A little bit of cherry, yeah. A little bit of cream. A little bit of vanilla.
Little brown sugar.
Yeah, this smells lighter than a lot of the picks we've had too.
It does.
It is desserty and sweet.
It reminded me of a typical maker. If you had to describe a generic Maker's Mark pick, the nose gives that off. Where like you smell it and you can immediately recognize, yeah, this is a Maker's Mark private selection.
But like there's no cuvee in this, right?
Correct.
That's what it is. Yeah, it doesn't smell like it has much thickness to it. I have no idea what the body's gonna be like, but it doesn't smell like it has.
It's not super oily. It doesn't really coat the glass like some of the other ones do, especially the cuvee heavy ones. I would love to see a 10 cuvee one personally.
Same, but my idea, I sent you a picture of what my ideal is. Mm-hmm. It was like 4 Mondial, 4 cuvee, and 2 pure. Mm. Although after having that winter wassail and tasting a high,
goal, by the way.
They got shit.
Yeah.
After tasting that winter wassail with a high pure profile, I'm starting to think how much I really like the pure because it brings out brown sugar and rich notes up front.
Right.
So
yeah.
I want to see like 4 pure, 4 mocha / Mondial, and then 2 cuvee. Mm-hmm. Or a balance of those in some way, shape, or form is what I'd like to see.
It does seem like the combination I think both of us would go for personally at this point.
Super desserty with minimal spice because there's already some spice in Makers.
Correct. So.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it is warm, but this one's actually pretty oaky, along with the sweet notes. Mm-hmm. So like a lot of brown sugar.
The oak has come out a little more because I didn't get as much of that on my very first pour.
Because I'm definitely getting like toasted oak. I'm getting brown sugar.
I'm still getting a creaminess on the finish, almost like, again, a vanilla cream.
Definitely a creaminess.
The vanilla cream has to come from the pure.
Yes.
The pure interacting with something specific.
I think the vanilla cream comes from pure or cuvee, and I'm pretty sure it's
I mean, we're getting it on here, so pure has to have something to do with it.
Because American Pure is like brown sugar, vanilla, and like very decadent, desserty sweet notes.
Caramel, yep.
Well, caramel comes more from cuvee. Like this, like the American Pure is more like deeper, richer notes.
I got you.
Like caramel is definitely a sweet note, but it's not like a deep, rich note the way brown sugar and vanilla cream are, kind of.
Right. Fair enough.
But yeah,
this is still definitely on the sweeter side.
It definitely is.
It's definitely a rich sweet.
It is a little warm though. I'm not gonna lie. This one's surprisingly a little warm.
I do get a little bit of it. At the same time, that doesn't bother me in a maker's pick because I've never had a truly hot maker's pick.
That's fair.
And this gives me some variety where, do I want a rich sweet one that has minimal heat, or do I want one that has a little bit of a warmth to it on a cold day? This literally gives me the choice of picking up. Depending on which pick, I can get a similar but not the same kind of profile with varying heat levels.
Yeah, this is one I definitely enjoy, but I don't think I'm going to make the trip out to get it.
Fair enough.
I would not be disappointed buying this. I enjoy this. I like this better than that trip.
But you wouldn't go over an hour. You wouldn't go an hour and a half out of your way to go grab this.
Pretty much, yeah. Like that Truth or Dare one. Like I like this better than the Truth or Dare that I got out of North Carolina that I ended up giving to you.
Right.
But.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, our point is still proven that we've yet to have a Maker's Mark pick that we haven't liked.
Yeah, I have to agree. There's not been a single one.
Again, if I had to pick one product to have forever, I'd pick Maker's Private Select. Because it's going to give me, like if I had to pick just one, because I know I'm always, for me personally, I'm always going to like it. I'm picking one product and I can get 1,001 different varieties of the same thing, and they're single barrel, so it's still going to be different every time.
Yeah. Oh.
But again, I'm glad we don't have to make that choice.
I'd have a hard time making it. I think the Knob Creek 12 is what it's going to come out to be for me.
Fair enough.
Now, are we assuming the same level of accessibility, or are we assuming like every time you finish a bottle, it's immediately accessible?
You know, if you're being required to pick one forever, you should be able to get it easily.
Okay, if that's the case, I would say the 12 cask strength. Knob Creek 12-year cask.
Fair enough. I would pick something like this because this is also a nice in-between on proof where I'm not going to want a cask strength every single day.
Right.
I'm also not going to want...
Fuck!
I'm also not going to want 100 proof for every day.
Right.
Or lower. So it gives you the nice in-between where, again, that's where, like, I can practically pick my heat levels at this point because I have multiple that are in the same vein in terms of flavor profile but have varying levels of heat.
Yeah, I never understood why people like shat on like whiskeys like Baker's because they're like, oh, I can get Knob Creek single barrel for $60, or I can get Booker's or regular Knob Creek, but like there's something about a small batch product around like 107 to 110 proof.
Right.
Like, you don't always want barrel proof, even if it is the cheaper quality option.
Right.
Sometimes you want a quality.
I drink cask strength. Now, granted, these are cask strength.
Yeah.
I drink cask strength probably a little over half the time. But, again, my cask strengths vary from 105 in New Riff to just shy of 130.
Right.
Actually, over 130 because of that Alberta Premium is definitely like 132. Oh, delayed penalty on Florida.
Ooh.
But yeah, so again, proving our point that there's no such thing as a bad maker's pick.
Nope.
I have enough of a sample size between the ones I've tried and don't have bottles of, and all the ones I have bottles of, that I'm convinced that I'm not going to find one I don't like. I'm not going to find one I regret buying.
And you know that
I'll find one I won't rebuy, or I would buy if somewhere else made the same pick because I know it's going to be different.
Right.
But like, I have a good handful I wouldn't buy a backup of.
Yeah, you can tell.
But given the opportunity to buy it, I would have bought them all. And
that honestly is just a good show at Maker's Mark consistency, which is what people laud it for. Is like. And
that's why I'll always keep the. I mean, I think 3 unopened fifths and an open fifth of regular Makers. Just because on an easy night, that's something I can still go to and sit, like I can Old Tub or anything like that. That's something that it's still that caliber for me.
Yeah, it's
the way Knob Creek 9 year is for you. Classic Maker's Mark is for me.
Right.
Where like, you know, I can't go to it all the time because, you know, I have other stuff. I want more variety, but it's never a bad choice either. Like you said, when you go to a bar, if Maker's Mark's the best, if you see Maker's Mark and they don't have anything crazy, you're always going to go for that Maker's Mark.
Oh yeah,
no. Always trust it.
Maker's Mark is always available, even at dive bars.
Yep.
Even a dive bar will have Maker's Mark.
It's a higher end pour at a dive bar, or it's a practically well pour at a high end restaurant, but everywhere's got it.
Yeah, there's not a single place like. If you go to a bar and it doesn't have standard Maker's Mark, you should probably leave.
Right, unless they have crazy shit. And their whole point is only having crazy shit.
Yes, I mean,
if a bourbon bar doesn't have just classic stuff, that can kind of make sense because their goal is the other stuff. But if you go to a bar that's not a bourbon bar and they don't have Maker's Mark and they have whiskeys, like bourbons, red flag.
Yes.
They probably don't know what they're doing.
Oh no, I was just going to say that's probably a bar you were going to get stabbed in.
Also true.
But, anyways.
But yeah, so there you go. Maker's Mark, Ashebrooke Liquor Outlet. And this is also, apparently they're like Atlantic Liquors, they do multiple picks.
Right.
Because this is number 3. I can't read. 3.
Something like that, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where if I were to go down there and had more money on me and they had multiple of the picks, I'd have grabbed one of each.
Oh, for sure.
And I mean, if I go to Delaware and they have Atlantic Liquor batch number 1, or they've come out with other ones,
right?
Or even if they had the new ones refreshed to have the Mondion, I'd probably get them,
right?
Because they're still gonna, especially the Mocha to Mondion, it's gonna be significantly different at this point too.
I do think that the Mondion staves are better than the Mocha. Like so far we've seen,
which says a lot because the Mocha is like a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Including for us, like we really like the Mocha heavy ones as well.
Yeah, the Mondion is just bringing out more like brownie notes than it is just plain chocolate at this point.
Right. It has more character. It has more. Feels like it has more of a production value to it, if that makes sense.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, so there you go.